a crazy thing to do. It's kind of like a form of socially acceptable insanity.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? My name is Jacoby, and I love movies, and I'm here with my good buddy Cody, who always loves movies. Say hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, and I'm also joined with my cat here. She's going to be making biscuits in the background, don't mind her. But on our quest to review every single movie before the Oscars, we have arrived at Her. Spike Jonze's Her. This weird indie hipster love story between a man and technology.
It's almost like a weird, like, kind of dark romantic comedy, but between a man and his computer, or his operating system at least, on
Or
his
Siri.
phone,
Yes.
or whatever it is. Yeah.
The OS, as you will. The comparisons between the OS and Siri are pretty obvious. But let me try and break down this plot a little bit. Main character is Theodore, the lovable loser played by Joaquin Phoenix, and he is a big time loser. Like, it's hard not to just, feel bad for this mustached moron.
I don't know if I'd call him a loser. He's in a weird funk because he got divorced. He's definitely
he's not a loser.
odd. He's a little eccentric, but
He's in
I
a
wouldn't
funk.
necessarily say he's a loser. He seems to have a decent enough job writing other people's letters, which apparently we do in the future.
All right,
But-
you're nicer than me then.
I'm just saying, it's not like he's like a decrepit bum, some guy just hanging out.
No, he's not a scourge to society by any means. But yeah, he's in a bit of a funk after he breaks up with his wife, I believe, or girlfriend.
Yeah,
Wife.
yeah, no, he has a divorce with his wife.
Yeah, played by Rooney Mara of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo fame, who I do like her. But yeah, his job also is to write love letters for people, like handwritten love letters.
Strange.
Yeah, which he dictates to a computer, 1984 style, and then it comes out looking handwritten. Like a company like Hallmark, I guess. I don't know. It's a strange job.
Yeah.
But this film does take place in the future, a little bit in the future at least. It's not quite obvious because there's no like screens and futuristic shit all over the place. It's more like
I don't think they ever state the year either, do
no,
they?
they don't. It's more like a hipster future, if you will. Like, yeah, if hipsters took over in the year 2040, this is what the future would look like. But yeah, where was I? Who's his friend? What's her name again? Amy Adams' character?
Amy. Her name is Amy.
Oh, it's just Amy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is friends with a character played by Amy Adams. Another good role for her this year. She's doing rather well. But that's kind of unrelated. But he's in a super funk and he's really lonely, and what do you know? The OS comes out. I think it's just called OS. It doesn't like, give a company or anything.
It's just called the OS. He gets to pick whether he wants a male or female voice. Obviously, he picks a female voice, and then it ends up being Scarlett Johansson's voice. So she basically just does a voiceover the whole time.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is the other main character, though she's never in it.
She does a decent enough job of emoting through voiceover. You know what I mean? Like, it would work if it was a cartoon type thing. If she was voicing over to that quality.
Yeah, but she plays the OS, this computer system that Theodore gets, and it's an AI, I guess. It's sentient, like it knows, it's self-aware, if you will. It can learn through experiences. It can, Skynet shit, basically. But used for good. So basically, this is supposed to be just a personal assistant, but obviously he forms a bond to his OS, if you will, and falls in love with his OS.
Yeah.
So this is a love story between a man and his phone, if you want to boil it down to the absolute core. Yeah. What do you want to say about this film? Where do you want to hop off?
No, like you said, and like we were discussing before, I honestly think Lars and the Real Girl is kind of a better sort of film for as far as where it's kind of quirky character, but I guess Ryan Gosling's character in that, he's a little more disassociated from not only society but also reality. Whereas it seems Joaquin Phoenix is just society, like he just kind of blocked people out after his divorce, which a lot of people probably go through depression after divorce, so you can't really blame the guy. What's weird is that he just automatically thinks that there's nothing strange about dating
that's the
computer, but
that's like the alternate future thing, if you will, because it's cool that he's dating his computer. You know, there's no big deal really. Few characters, including his ex-wife especially, think it's odd and sad,
Yeah.
which it kind of is. But there's what's the other couple, where the husband's played by the dude from Parks and Rec, I think.
Chris. It's I think they're just dating. It's Chris
Oh
Pratt
yeah,
and
Chris Pratt, of course.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the female's name.
Yeah,
But
I think he works at
yeah,
the
the car
same
company.
place.
Yeah. But yeah, this other couple suggests a double date after he's full on in love with
Excuse me.
Samantha is her name. I guess we should just call it
Yeah.
Samantha, the name she picks for herself. But he suggests a double date, and he's like, "Yeah, thing about that is I'm kind of dating my phone." And they're just like, "Cool, we'd love to
Bring
meet
it.
her.
Yeah.
Bring on the phone." And it is goofy. Like it is hard to watch a man fall in love with his phone. And have sexual relations with his phone, which is a whole nother point we're going to get to in a bit. But
That was disturbing. The part where he's.
you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
You brought it up.
I guess, yeah.
It's clearly
Yeah.
burning on your mind, man. We gotta talk about it.
It is. This is probably the most interesting and uncomfortable scene of 2013, I think. I'm just going to say that. Throw that out there.
Basically, Joaquin Phoenix masturbating and groaning on a. It's like
Yeah,
an overhead
yeah.
shot of him basically in bed, yeah.
It's an overhead shot of him in bed where he's
I think
drunk.
it's off the side of one point. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Spoiler
having
alert,
sex with his phone.
Let's
yeah.
lay out the scene a little bit here. So he goes on a shitty date and kind of gets
With
turned
the
down.
gorgeous Olivia Wilde.
Oh, and she is gorgeous, and it is Olivia Wilde, so she's gorgeous. But yeah, gets turned down a little bit because he's a bit of an odd dude, we'll say. And he gets a bit drunk and comes home and starts talking to his phone, and whoever programmed these phones, or this OS, clearly knew the market for people.
People like this, people like Theodore.
Yeah, because this is a real thing. This would happen. But yeah, he has a sexual experience with his phone. We'll say that it's not like Videodrome. He didn't fuck the phone. We'll say, but it's like phone sex basically, but with him and a computer, and it's all done in like one shot, and it's
It's very disturbing.
I was listening to it with the volume, decently high, and I just all of a sudden I'm listening to what appears to be porno, but on the screen,
Oh, that's awful.
is just fucking Joaquin Phoenix sitting there in bed, and I'm just, what kind
Yeah,
of
it's
film?
like
What
rolling
film
around
is
like,
this?
oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's pretty awful.
I guess I should say that Joaquin Phoenix.
They get a good job of, I guess.
Yeah,
making
I
it
guess.
look
I
similar
wouldn't
to,
know. Yeah, I wouldn't know where to begin to film a scene like that.
That's what I mean. Joaquin Phoenix does a great job in his role of it, especially considering how, I don't know, kind of ridiculous the story is.
This is a ridiculous story.
You know what I mean? The characters do a good job of actually taking themselves seriously.
I think most people, like the average movie-going crowd, is going to look at the premise for this story and be like, "Oh man, falls in love with his phone." Probably don't need to see that, but
Yeah, I would agree.
hmm But there is like some good film stuff underneath this ridiculous premise.
It's a lot of like this, like you were just talking about earlier. It's beautifully shot, and the color scheme throughout the film is absolutely wonderful. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's
Yeah, I noticed that
visually it's fantastic. I do think the story is a little, I don't know, not even just the fact that it's quirky or kind of different. It's just
it's that, and it's
it seems almost kind of useless too. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading the film wrong. It seems like it's a disassociation from society, and he starts taking his phone, and that's why it's strange. And then the OSs leave, and I don't understand what the significance of that is, and what his kind of big revelation is at the end. I don't understand what that comes from. I thought he was going to the roof to kill himself.
That's
I
what
was like, oh fuck!
too.
So this is just some creepy ass depressing movie.
If that was the ending, I would have
thought it was a lot better, honestly.
I would have hated that ending, to be perfect.
I would have been like, this was a weird movie, but I kind of liked it.
No, I would be like, fuck that. This guy can't handle his phone leaving him, and he kills himself. No, fuck that.
And don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like it. It's watchable. It's not something that I would, go out of my way to see again.
Mm-hmm.
But, I can understand the commercial value of it to certain people.
I would say I would. I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but I'd say I liked this film. It was interesting to me. I don't think I'm going to be rushing out to buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out, that kind of thing. But I'm glad I watched it. It was an interesting experiment in a love story, if you will. And it doesn't hammer it down your throat too much that we're obsessed with technology. I mean, you walk around anywhere in public, people are fucking staring at these things all day long.
Well, yeah, but I mean, right from the get-go, it seems like that's what it's doing when he's sitting there at his computer, doing his job, speaking into the computer, and it's printing up what he's saying, or actually writing it for the notes. Are you sure that's not? I don't know. To me, that's how I read it. I read it that that's pretty much the whole premise of the film is about how dependent we are on technology. Because that's what happens is he becomes dependent on the OS. He starts freaking out when he can't get a hold of it, and he flips out when it's
Oh no,
talking to all the
I
other
agree
systems.
with you. I agree with you there. It is 100% about dependency on technology, but the way they show it, I think, was interesting because it's all done through. Excuse me, Dr. Pepper. But yeah, you talk to your OS, if you will, through an earpiece, basically, like a little thing. They made it. Technology isn't in your face this whole movie. Like it really does focus on the people of the movie.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's not as like Blade Runner where there's like signs
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, like it's visually organic, but the concept is 100% about like reliance on technology and unhealthy reliance on technology, we'll say.
I see what you're saying.
And I found that to be really interesting. I thought Spike Jonze did a cool job of showing that. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't think this is film of the year by any means. I just think it's an interesting film. If that
Well,
makes sense.
given like the subject matter and it being in the future and whatnot, and the whole basis of technology, would you call this a sci-fi film? Like, even though it's sort of a dark romantic comedy, would it still classify as science fiction?
I think on concept alone it would, because
Huh?
right now, anyways, I don't know. I mean, I love technology, but I did this concept to me is still science fiction. Like it's
I would hope so.
yeah, because I mean, anyone out there is watching. If you've ever had sex with Scarlett Johansson's voice, let us know. But I don't, because I would like to interview you. But like, I just don't see this concept happening. What?
Biscuits. Biscuits are ready.
Biscuits
Just let
are
me
ready.
know.
Can I have
No,
a biscuit? No, not quite. Yeah. If you're wondering, my cat isn't like pooping on my bed or anything. It's just this weird rain dance thing she does. But anyways, her. Where were we? I guess I don't know. There isn't a whole lot more to say about it. You want to talk about Spike Jonze? What do you think about him?
Like I said, I thought the direction of the film was really well done. I thought it was extremely well shot. The cinematography was good. I thought the colors were beautiful
interesting
throughout it.
colors,
I
yeah.
thought it was very well. The lighting was unique. I thought it was a little bit different. It wasn't just natural day lighting. It seemed a little bit brighter, a little bit more picked up in certain colors and highlighted in certain areas. It
Colors
seemed really
very vibrant, which I really enjoyed.
It was I thought it was really really well shot and put together. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the story of it. It is watchable. It is I thought it was still good. Like I said, it's still a good film. It was very well made, but it's just a loss for me because I'm not that into what the story's all about. I think it's kind of a little bit
Yeah, and I think that's what holds it back
past its
from
due,
greatness. But I mean, the relationship between him and Samantha, I think, is sold pretty much. Like, it's still hard to watch and like hard to relate to, I guess. But like this relationship,
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, this relationship between him and Scarlett Johansson's voice essentially is pretty believable for the most part. I mean,
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think it was wonderfully performed. I mean, obviously.
Because I will say with this concept, I mean, neither Scarlett Johansson or Joaquin Phoenix are like amazing. I would say they're both good in their own respects, but with lesser actors, this story would have been really hard to sell. I think, or like a lesser script, dialogue-wise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Spike Jonze probably is one of the best little characters in it. I didn't know until looking it up that he played the little video game character.
Yeah. There's this cool scene where he's playing a video game, but the character he's playing just starts talking shit to him. It's kind of interesting.
Fuck you!
Yeah, yeah, and that's honestly hilarious. One thing though, why does he control his video games by going like this in the future? That better not be how video games control in the future. Fuck that shit.
What do you mean? It's Connect.
No, I don't want Connect. But what?
It's Connect, buddy.
Does this symbolize walking? This
running.
no.
Here's little legs. There you go.
I guess. No, I want a controller in the future. I don't care. I don't care how, if it's like 2050, I want a controller, always. But that's neither here nor there. Oddly enough, this film wasn't nominated for cinematography.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I think is too bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if
That seems like a moot point and seems a little missed.
Yeah, it's odd, because there's 5 films nominated for cinematography, and it's not one of them. Prisoners is nominated, actually.
I haven't seen Prisoners.
I haven't either. Gravity is nominated. I think Gravity should probably win cinematography. But
We'll save that for the Gravity review.
I'm looking for anything else her is nominated for. Music, it's nominated for original score.
I thought the score was actually well done as well. I was thinking that while rewatching it for probably the 15th time.
Yeah, I'm never gonna watch this movie again. I don't think. Well, not maybe later. It'd be a good movie to watch with a girl, I guess. Yeah, you got a kitty. You gotta if you happen to
like
be,
I said, it's just so strange though. Like
it
is
is
kind of a romantic comedy, but it's like a dark romantic comedy.
Yeah,
It's just
if you happen
weird.
to be dating a kind of weird hipster chick with maybe some piercings and tattoos, which who doesn't love a good hipster chick now and again? This would be an ideal date movie, I think. But
Yeah.
that's a very specific situation.
To each their own.
To each their own, exactly. This film is actually scored by a band called the Arcade Fire, if you've ever heard of them.
I've heard of them. Don't listen to them, but I've heard
I
of
don't
them.
listen to them personally. Like, the soundtrack was very good. It's not exactly my kind of music. I wouldn't probably throw it on my iPod, but I did like it. It's like that, hipster, bubbly kind of music. And I hate to keep throwing the word hipster out there, but that's really the, if I had to call the style of this movie, it would be that, I think. And I don't mean
a hipster dark romantic comedy.
Yeah, there you go. And I don't mean that as a negative thing. It's just, hipsters, you know who you are.
And I wasn't sure, is he supposed to have been hooking up with Amy Adams at the end? Like I said, I might be reading this film wrong, but I don't know.
I don't think they did. That's my reading of it. I think he's probably going to be more in touch with people after this, but he does have a bit of a character arc, but he's not, I don't know. He doesn't really have a revelation.
That's what I mean. It doesn't seem to have a real ending point, or really, to me, it doesn't even really pick off. Pick up, because
it's kind of like this all the way through.
Yeah, it's very dull. It's slow.
A bit of a peak when he falls in love with the phone, and they go
so
on.
I found the only peak was when she leaves, when he's freaking out.
Oh yeah, there was some. The freak out was a hard scene to watch. I mean, I get it. Joaquin Phoenix sells it, but this man has a fucking breakdown when his phone
just
stops.
Disappears.
Just disappears.
Yeah.
And what happens is it's updating. It's updating. It's like going from iOS 1 to iOS 2, and he has a fucking breakdown. And it's hard to watch, but it really sells his dedication and his love for this this OS, if you will. This is an odd film through and through, but I'm still glad I watched it. I don't know, is there anything else you want to discuss about it?
Well, how would you put it up there as far as Best Picture goes, since that's the majority of what we're doing here?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. For Best Picture, let me just scroll up to the nominees. Take a good look at them all. I mean, it's still up in... I think it's still up in the air for Best Picture between Wolf of Wall Street, 12 Years, and Dallas Buyers Club. Those are my 3 that I wouldn't mind seeing win. And right under that, I would put... Oh, God, it's a hard decision. I'd say this is similar to... I put it in the same category as American Hustle after rewatching American Hustle as well. I'd say they're both good, but not great films. And,
okay.
And I think they're both important watches, but 12 Years, Wolf of Wall Street, Dallas Buyers Club, I could throw those on at any time, and no matter how many times I've seen them, be like, damn good film, I'm going to watch this. but
Yeah.
her maybe not. What about you?
Yeah, see, I think it's going to be between 12 Years a Slave and Dallas Buyers Club. As much as I want to see Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah, that's
take
just
home
me. That's
the
just me
best picture,
being.
you know, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't
These
either.
Dallas Buyers Club and 12 Years a Slave is too strong. Like you said, I believe this is one of the ones that's just going to kind of fall in behind the pack,
Hmm.
not really stand up against those, but in its own right, at least, you know, it got the nod.
Hmm.
And I think it'll
I
have
think
it.
it deserves the nod. I think it
Yeah, I
deserves to
think
be
it'll have at
recognized.
least decent commercial success off of that, if nothing else.
Hmm.
So good for Spike Jones. It's one of the first things that he's done that's really, you know, gotten kind of noticed. Besides, well, Bad Grandpa, but
Hmm.
that's a, you know, a jackass thing, and
Yeah, Spike Jones is an odd dude, isn't he?
yeah,
He does weird weird films. I mean, his last two were
he did a good job on
adaptation.
this.
Yeah, adaptation and Where the Wild Things Are, like his last two feature length films.
Mm.
And then before that, it was the amazing but yet hard to describe Being John Malkovich. So.
And then he got nominated for those as well, right?
Hmm.
For being John Malkovich and adaptation.
Yeah. Um, Not an Oscar. It just says a Golden Globe for adaptation.
Okay,
But Being John Malkovich won a bunch of shit and
I
was
thought so.
nominated. Her has got a decent amount of accolades throughout the
The
circles of
circuit,
awards, if you will. We're just focusing on the Academy Awards because it's the most known and televised one. But there's
the most prestigious,
if you
if you
will,
will.
I mean, prestigious. You get a little statue, you know.
It's
Um,
on the TV.
it's on the televisions and the YouTubes. You're gonna be famous. Um, but yeah, that's where I'd say it stacks up. What about actor, like best actor? Do you think Joaquin should have got a nod for best actor?
Is he not even nominated?
No.
Yeah, that to me is surprising. I thought he did a fantastic job, especially considering how hard that would be,
Hmm.
given that A, that you have no one working with you,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure
and
Scarlett Joe
you're
was.
supposed to, you know, kind of put forth this relationship that's a, you know, like a full emotional commitment. But I don't know. I think he would have done like I don't think he's done a better job than some of the guys that are there, but I do think he deserved the nod.
Hmm. I agree with that, 100%. He probably shouldn't have won, but I mean, I don't know. He could have took Christian Bale's nomination for American Hustle. That would have been
I would
okay.
agree. I would agree.
I think he did a better job than that. I still think Leo's gonna win that category. I think Leo's got it wrapped up this year, but that's again just me being me being biased, me being
Man, I hope so too. But
yeah,
I'm just saying.
got a bit of a crush, man crush on Leo DiCaprio. What are you gonna do? But what about actress in this? Never mind. Scarlett Joe wasn't nominated for anything.
Well, no, she just does a voiceover, right? That's one of the problems. And that's one of the things that I think should have been taken into consideration when you're looking at Best Actor for Joaquin Phoenix, at least to just, like we were saying, get a nod.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think
You know?
Scarlett Joe deserved the nod because there wasn't acting
Well,
involved.
obviously.
But
No, I mean for Scarlett Johansson, not for Scarlett Johansson. I mean to take in consideration for him.
oh yeah, I agree. I think Joaquin Phoenix should have deserved a nomination. He deserves something for this. I think he's an underrated actor. I mean, he's a super weird dude in the real world, but in movies, I've always enjoyed him. Excuse me. I
Yeah, I
mean,
thought he did a good job.
the I'm Still Here experiment was odd, but anyways.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. But, you know, like I said, I thought he did a fantastic job in this. I thought it's probably one of the better performances uh, in the last little while in his career. So,
Hmm.
you know, it's sometimes it doesn't work out, I guess.
Yep. Yep. Too bad, but it's all good. We love you, Joaquin. I mean, I've loved you since Buffalo Soldiers. I think that's a very underrated movie. I
It's
love
fucking
that.
awesome movie.
Fucking love
If
that
you
movie.
haven't seen Buffalo Soldiers, go see it.
Buffalo Soldiers starring.
I guess you
Joaquin
can't really
Phoenix.
rent shit no more, so yeah, just look it up.
Yeah, might be on Netflix. Fuck, I don't know. But yeah, you want to wrap it up? What do you want to give the? What would you give her as a final closing statement and rating, if you will?
Closing statement, I'd say it's, like you said, good movie, not great. I'd say that it's got fantastic performances throughout it. The storyline for me is a little bleak. And aside from that, I'd probably give it, I'd say a 6 out of 10.
Okay, that's pretty similar to what I'm thinking too. I think it's a an interesting experiment in film, an interesting experiment in a love story. Um, I think it's not to be missed if you dig kind of odd movies. If you ever seen John Malkovich and you love that shit, you might be the kind of person that's into her. But if you I think the average movie-going audience is probably gonna
Yeah.
skip over this. I liked it a little better than you. I'd give it about a 7 out of 10. It's good, not great. I'm glad I watched it. Beautiful cinematography, great acting, decent music. It's just the storyline is a little unrelatable, but they do a damn good job trying to sell you on it. But yeah, 7 out of 10. That's what I'd give it. Yeah, alright, so that's going to wrap up our review of her. So make sure you check back for more movie reviews. We'll be probably back within a day or two reviewing Captain Phillips and or Gravity. But yeah, my name is Jacoby. Check out Cody's channel, link in the description below. Super cool original short coming your way very soon.